Early. What's up? What's up, people? So, okay. So what's going on? Is nobody here? Nobody. Okay, cool. All right. So listen. I've been talking for 2 months. I'm doing a series about the Aryan Brotherhood. I worked on the video yesterday for a while, and I was doing it this morning, and I still haven't got it down right. And that's just the introduction. But anyway, along the way, I've been looking at a lot of different footage that's out there about the Aryan Brotherhood, and a lot of it is about Michael Thompson, because Michael Thompson, as of late, is well, he is said to be, admits that he is, well, he claims that he is, and I believe that's true, the highest former ranking member of the Aryan Brotherhood to drop out, for the first one anyway. And people have asked me, like, what's going on? What do you got? What do you think of this guy? What do I think of him? And I haven't really had an opinion. I will say this: I watched him on Vlad TV. This is what I've been watching right now because I'm looking at some of his own words. I watched him on Vlad TV, and then this morning, for the first time, I watched Al Prophet. I didn't know. People have been asking me about Al Prophet. If I knew, I had no clue who he was. And what was crazy is, on one of the shows, I skimmed through some shows. He's actually talking to a good friend of mine. A good friend of mine's in the room with him, and that good friend is Seth Ferranti, who I have not talked to in a while, by the way. A couple of friends I haven't talked to. Wow, in some months. Actually, Seth and his wife were going to come by months ago. Anyway, but yeah, so I've never watched him. I did hear somebody, like I said, somebody wrote something about Al Prophet, and I watched his show this morning. I haven't watched like mob stuff. I'm trying to get away from watching anything. Not all, but I've took a lot of my channels off. Oh, somebody's finally caught alive. What's up? What's up, Jop? Okay. Dylan Thomas, definitely intrigued on this one as I've been listening to a lot of interviews. Okay. Oh, what's up, Joey? Scott Bell, yeah, y'all been waiting on this one, Rob. Thanks for calling this liar out. Finally caught up. That is mafia history. Yeah, so I really want to get into this because, and I'll tell you what, I should have did a video about this, and I should have waited and came back and did that video instead of doing this live. You know why I went live right now? No bullshit. Because since 7:45 this morning, that's when I started doing some research. I have now days, over a week time, hours wise, worth of researching the Aryan Brother. Just so much stuff is out there. It's just all recycled. And I'm going to recycle it too. The beginning and the California AB and the federal AB. So it's not like I'm putting nothing new out. I just want to put it in a different context. In simple terms, to break down exactly the bullshit surrounding them, the white supremacy stuff, how that got started. I'm actually trying to find the first news article that was put in. But anyway, I've been really focusing on it. So then Michael Thompson, right? So I actually watched something Al Prophet, a piece that he did talking kind of smack about Michael Thompson. And that's when it like came to me, and I was like, man, stop. I have to go to Fort Smith at I got to leave here by 12:15, 12:20. So I'm looking at the clock, and I'm like, man, okay, so I did that wrong. Oh, I actually did like 3 different takes of videos and screwed it up. And I'm like, okay, stop. Wait till you come home. This is me talking to myself, and then I'll do it. And then I kept thinking this Thompson, because I saw some contradictory stuff he said. Then I'm like, this fucker's a Jimmy. 100%. And I'll get into that. Let me say a few more things first. Yeah, okay. Finally caught a live J. Alexander Wilson. Some of Michael Thompson's stories aren't consistent. I caught that. Jimmy Boy, nice video choice, man. Getting on the Jimmy's, getting on this Jimmy while he's topical. Oh yeah. You mean the tagline or the title? Mike Miller, Rob, I always love hearing your stories. Take me back to C Block. I'll do it. I don't know, Mike. Which C Block story? What do you got a suggestion? Hello, people. Jimmy Boy, Sub Harvest. Rob, keep up the great content. Thanks. Redzilla, the real king of BobTube. Thompson said he was a shot caller with a 12 gauge and 30-06. I'm going to bring that up in a minute. Harvest of Sorrow. Hey, Jimmy boy. Is Michael Thompson the Native American dropout that was the documentary a year ago? Ex-car, see what I'm saying when it comes to word or reading? Ex-carnesics. I know what I'm prize. Yes. Mafia history. Michael Thompson is a known liar. Smiley Intentions called him. Who did even Smiley from Hard Intentions called him out already? And Smiley did more than 20 years in California State Prison. I don't know who Smiley is. Is he really a liar or is he sensationalizing the story? I'm going to get to that. Both. Smiley convict chit chat would be a good one. Okay, G-Rock. All cooperation and balance they do the Jimmy. Michael Thompson dispatched 7 NF members with his bare hands or some nonsense, right? Hey, convict, to do me a favor, lay off my guys, FBS and Jimmy, would you? This is notorious crime leader, mild mouth. I'm getting mild over here. I'll start dropping a tears salute. He definitely exaggerated the position in some incidents. A lot of stuff, Michael Thompson, is true and documented, though I'm sure there's lies and embellished. Okay, interesting story. Okay, here we go. So here's the deal. I want to start off with this guy's why he went to prison, and this is why. Actually, so I'm trying to use the thing Jimmy more for rat or scumbag. So that's really why I put the Jimmy title thing in. Yeah, and it's true. It's true that the people do pay attention to that more, but it's the comparison's there. And here's what I'm saying. So let's state the facts. In 1973, 2 people up in Northern California named Butch Nunley and Ruth Steele were murdered. Okay, this is his own words. This is his case. This is why he went to prison. The reason why they were murdered is because apparently, according to Michael, a guy by the name of John Solis ran a cartel, as he called it, up in Northern California, and Butch and Ruth owed him money. Now, there was a kidnap plot, says Michael Thompson, to take John Solis's children. Now watch this, okay? Thompson then goes and alerts John Steele. So he's obviously friends with these people over here. He's got information over. He goes and alerts John Steele that these guys are going to go kidnap his kids. Then he is convicted of killing those 2 people. It's like a rat man all the way around. Just like it's like what side? Look. So here's my bigger point. This is another character flaw. This is like Jimmy in the hotel room ripping off his clothes and I'm naked. You want to be with me? I'm luring you to a hotel room. This guy had scumbag ways since he was a kid, obviously, or since he was young. He was in his early 20s there. I'm not saying that people don't get information on other drug sources. Or I wasn't involved in any violence over drugs, to be honest. One little thing or whatever, but in a bigger weight, moving weight like they did, I get it that people will, this guy's the kingpin, and then over here they're plotting on him, and then somebody might know both. I get that, but it's when you look at his overall, the totality of his life's work, that it all comes into context. Like, oh, this guy has been a scumbag since the day he was born, probably. Now, he doesn't know his biological parents, which that's not a big deal whatsoever. He was raised on a reservation until 12 or something, or was it 12 or a little older? He claims to be Native American, kind of, sort of, sometimes, kind of awkward, but he's been playing the Native American role a lot. But I've known white guys in federal prison that claim they had like a smidgen of Indian blood, and they'll hang out with Native Americans or use Native Americans for tobacco, because Native Americans can still smoke tobacco. So there's a lot of white guys who suddenly have a drop of native blood and want to go to the sweat lodge and smoke tobacco. That happens a lot. So I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what he is? He's obviously chosen to believe inside he's some sort of Native American, and that's not. So be it. What's the girl Rachel Zolazar who who claims she was the leader of the NAACP and she's white, has white family, but she identifies as black. Okay, so be it. If you want to be white, if you're white, you want to be black, okay, you can be black. If you're naturally born a girl, I don't want to touch that topic. Okay, anyway, so if you think you're a bird, fly away. Get on a 3rd-story building if you think you're a bird and flap your wings and jump. Okay, do that. That's what I want people who think they're birds to do that. Anyway, let me get back on subject. So we've got this Jimmy here. Yeah, Michael Thompson. So he gets convicted of this murder and he goes to prison. And first he started off was it Tracy, gets in trouble at Tracy, which was these are rough joints back in the day. And I'm going to address something about that too. This is going to be brought up in the series. Ultimately ends up at Old Folsom, where he then, he says, is approached by not the BGF, but the Black Panthers. That's another video, because people got that all, you get that all screwed up too. So he's first approached by the Black Panthers to be, and the Black Panthers is so he said. Now, there was the White Panthers, he said, and I don't really know anything about that. Some research calls for some research, but the Black Panthers and the BGF were separate groups. When you hear about all these killings that happened in California in the 60s and 70s, there was splintered there. So they had the BGS, Black Guerrilla Family, and then they had the Black Panthers. And the shot caller for the Black Panthers there was not black. He was Puerto Rican, I think he said. I forgot. But anyway, so Michael Thompson, who everybody dude was a big dude. So he's 6'4", and he said he lived 600 pounds at one time. Who knows? But Northern California had road bulls and rodeo circuit. So those are pretty strong dudes, you know. So I can see him lifting 400 or 500 pounds, whatever. But according to him, like, everybody in the yard wanted him. That's what he made it sound like. So who knows? Ultimately, he joins the Aryan Brotherhood. His reign lasts from 1990, write that down, 1977 until I think it was 83. Now, here's what goes down for those of you that really don't know, and I'm sure a lot of you do. Curtis Price, innocent people, Lou Norris, Michael Thompson, Clifford. The Aryan Brotherhood, I don't want to get into all this right now. When it first started out, 66, 67, I've seen 65. I got an FBI report saying 66. So when it first started out, white guys from different groups, and we'll not worry about that now. And there's this misconception that there was this oath, it was blood in, blood out. That's not true. And I knew that wasn't true too. And Thompson talks about that. It's not that you didn't have to kill to get in. You had to stab somebody at the time, and they only went for certain caliber of people. And remember, everybody, these are different times. The caliber of people going to prison back then was way different than people going now. A lot of us now, myself included, probably were more mental health patients than criminals or entrepreneurs. So back then, and a good point was brought up, and I think Al Prophet, I'm going to give people their due. I think it was him who said it. The difference was back then, especially back then, whites didn't go to prison as much as blacks. So the white guys that were going to prison were so-called the worst of the worst, okay? It makes sense when he said that. I can see that. I was like, huh, good point. We can also talk about geographical areas and if there's crime being committed by whites rather than blacks, blah, blah, blah. But the point is it's true. And the caliber of people were different. They also didn't have cameras back then. They also didn't have the same laws as we do now. So it was easier for people to kill and get away with murder and all that stuff to happen. And you had a prison guards who are still, a lot of them are still scumbags, especially executive staff, not so much the lower ones, but whatever. That helped, that were predominantly white, that were helping them in the so-called battle with what was going on. Because remember, in society at that time, you had a lot of civil unrest. The Chicano movement, the black movement, and the Watts riots in the 60s. That's when you had the Black Panthers on the streets were a pretty big force, and all that stuff. So you had a lot of civil unrest, racial unrest going on in the United States. So that goes into the prison system where whites were the minority. So they were getting the ABs were pulling the people that they knew would go. And when I say mean go, that means run a knife up into somebody. This white supremacy shit labels they put on it goes back to the beginning is complete crap. Matter of fact, Thompson did say this. He said that 4 natives that were ABs tried to, 4, I think he said, are the ones that try to pull them to become Aryan Brotherhood members in the beginning. Now, I don't know about 4 coming up to him or 4 Native American ABs, but I do know that there was, and I actually knew one that was pulled who was half. That is Mark Cross, aka Grumpy. His dad's Native American, his mom's white. But I knew back in the day there were non-whites in the AB, if you will. So when it comes to Michael Thompson, so then he says, okay, so let's give him his due. 82, was it 82? I think I got the date. And 82 is when the modern structure of the ABs happened. You guys are going to hear me repeating this in the video about the ABs when I do the beginning. But I'm talking about Thompson. So they're in Chino in a place called Palm Alt. Been there, been to Chino, been to Central, did almost a year there. Horrible place, condition-wise. So they're in Chino. Were they back for a trial? I think they might have all been back for a trial. But they were locked down in Palm Hall, or maybe they were just because of disciplinary reasons. Damn. And they had a meeting, and that's when the commission and the council was formed. So you had a nine-man council with a nine-man council with 3-man commission running it. Michael was a member of the council, not the commission, right? So he was part of that founding when they did that. That's when they structured themselves. Prior to that, the ABs had no structure. A lot like the Dirty White Boys and the Feds, when I was a part of it, there wasn't a structure. So the ABs, modernized that structure, and Thompson was a part of it. One of the decisions that the council and I keep getting this, the council and the commission. One of the decisions was a big decision they all had to make was what to do about one of the AB dropouts / snitches. I think it was the first one, by the way. What is that dude's name? Hold on, I got that down too. So one of the guys drops out. Is the first AB snitch that drops out, and Stephen Baines, I think it was. Yeah, they can't get to him because he's been PC'd up. So they decided to go after his family. I think they got a stepdad and a girl. So that's when the ABs first went and took on, hitting somebody on the street from a prison gang to actually there was more murder. I'm sorry, there was murders outside of that, but that's when they decided to kill a member of the ABs or a former member of the ABs family. Michael Thompson, I get to this for a reason. Michael Thompson says he was against that decision, and that's what turned him from the Aryan Brotherhood. There's other reports that say that he had a problem with was it Blinky or Blue Norris? Which one was it? Robert Griffin, Blinky, one of the commission members. Yeah, he had a problem with them and thought that he was going to be killed because at the time they were, if you're not for me, you're against me kind of thing. I'm assuming this. I was not there, and that's why Michael Thompson really dropped out. So this guy has a 6-year run with the ABs. Let's just call it a 6-year run. Let's give him that. Okay. While it is true that he would be, a wealth of information for the feds or for prison officials, I'm sure he was. What I find today is that he dropped out in 83, 84. He went to a bunch of trials. By the way, in 87, he's in a county jail somewhere in LA, and he goes to one of the jailers and then sets up these jailers on a stolen car ring, claiming that he had connections down in Mexico, and he got these cops, these jailers indicted too, these LA sheriffs. Shame on the sheriffs for being fucking scumbags and trying to play both ways, by the way. And shame on them for, they had to have known this guy was a high profile rat at that time. There's no way that they didn't. There's no way that was being kept a secret from those cops in the jail. I cannot see that. So, and I know that I saw this happen at Butner several times. Dudes would come in that were, oh, this dude's hot. He just, I know a guy that rolled over on cops down in Florida, on CO on staff, came to Butner. Everybody knew that this dude had rolled over, had set some cops up, got him indicted. Prison staff in Florida, and prison staff fucked with this dude again. What fucking idiots, right? That's who I want to go see. I want to go do contraband deals with the biggest rat, right? So these cops that were involved with Thompson, morons, but whatever. I mean, I wasn't there. Maybe they didn't know. You know, maybe they had maybe they were asleep, or they just didn't pay attention, or I don't know. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. So Thompson does, throughout his whole prison career, he says he learned how to read and write in prison, and he got a bunch of different degrees. And let me tell you, this guy is really articulate, really well spoken. If you listen to him, I can see why, like, he'd be a good public speaker. I can see why he would be good for law enforcement. I can see why people would pay him to come speak to him. I can see it. He's good. But when the push comes to shove, or he's a total Jimmy Calandra. This guy, if inside he believes he's some kind of good guy, he did this for altruistic reasons, just because he wanted to change his life, and that is not the case. And then he gets out of prison. Oh, by the way, claims that he did not kill these two people. I don't know if he killed these two people. He claims that he did not. One of the conditions when being let out on parole, and this was brought up in some interviews, maybe not like this, you have to accept responsibility for your actions. I haven't looked into California parole board's decision-making criteria in some time, but I believe that's almost mandatory. I believe that might be mandatory, because I know what it is in Arkansas. I know what it is in other states. You have to take acceptance of responsibility for your crime. I've got a friend right now that's a drug case, and in that drug case, they killed somebody, and he ran around with the person's head, or somebody did. I don't know. And they brought this up. They've brought this up in his case for the last 30 years. And he says, I didn't do it. I didn't kill nobody. Never got indicted for a body. This is strictly a drug conspiracy case. But they brought in this killing and this head to taint the jury and to taint everything else that's happened since. And it has. And I have recently said to him since I got out, dude, shift your freaking focus and say, yes, I was wrong. You know, say I was wrong. Shift it. Okay, you didn't do it. Great. You're not going to get charged for it. They're not charging everybody. The witnesses they're not going to get charged. Say you did it, or say that you had a dream and you realized it was you. I don't know, but you got to flip that, because he's never going to get out. That's what they bring up in his compassionate release, on all of his filings. So when it comes to Thompson, he got out. So one of his wishes were that eventually he would get out of prison if he became this big Jimmy. So here's one of the things, though. The prosecutors in this case, if you guys have followed some of these other channels, this isn't something totally new. The prosecutors in this case said, where is it? Jesus Christ, I'm freaking on the ball, aren't I? Jesus Christ. The other one's more organized. I was just doing random notes today. Oh, okay. Here it is. Wow. Okay. The prosecutor said he was testifying in a case, I think it was an 87, maybe that was the cop case, testified. The reason he was testifying was to get out of potential racketeering charges. And this was one of the prosecutors, there was a quote, what the prosecutors say, no one rational juror could have concluded, any of the things that Michael Thompson said solely could have convicted no one rational jury, no one rational juror could have convicted anyone of anything said by, this is Michael Thompson, what they're saying about him, an admitted perjurer and a schemer. That's what the prosecutors called him. Now, it is true that prosecutors don't like rats either. I mean, I'm not saying that they don't like some cooperators, but when they know that they have somebody who's a stone cold piece of shit, they got a Jimmy, in their view, they'll work with them to put away whoever they need to, but they'll tell the truth or flip on them in a heartbeat too. Prison guards will do it, cops will do it. I mean, I'm sure there's some law enforcement that, because they need informants, respect them and say okay or whatever. But in so many of these cases, and it's got to be the majority of them, these guys flip when they get caught, and they want to avoid time, or they want to keep committing crime. And then we have Michael Thompson today, and I don't know. Let me Google this first. That's why I put 12 o'clock, and I'm like, oh shit, I ain't got to the bottom of this yet. So Michael Thompson has been indicted since he's been out of prison on a fraud scheme, and it involves in taking homeless people's money. So it's basically nonprofit stuff. Let me see. I think we can listen to his own words here. Let me see something here.
Do you have life insurance
No.
to protect your loved ones in the event that you passed away unexpectedly?
No.
Your artery by about 1 millimeter, 1 centimeter.
Oh, this is when he took the knife away. This is on Vlad TV, by the way.
The third time I got my.
Let me see something.
There are those who say, "Well, you're in for a penny, in for a pound." I don't believe that. Discretion.
I'm trying to find this case.
Is mine and remains mine. So that upset a lot of people within law enforcement.
Oh, he's a victim.
Well, I got a lot of pushback from law enforcement. A lot of setups.
Yeah.
Attempts on my life as a result of law enforcement setting me up. So, I mean, that comes with the territory.
Victim.
When you make a decision.
Victim mentality.
They want what they want for the reasons.
Again, I've got to give credit to Vlad TV for this. This is the interview from. This is the end of it.
You went in 19.
I thought I had written down 1974.
2020.
Or I think it's 19.
I mean, to say the world is different is an understatement. Is a massive understatement.
I don't want to care about that.
When you came in, I mean,
sensory overload. I feel for him on that
cell
one.
phones. There was no.
That case, the chief investigator in that case has it for a jury, or it's all dismissed.
Here's his case. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys.
Come
on.
It was a lie. There's told witnesses of money through Live, Learn, and Prosper. Its bank account and its website. Well, all this laundering money from these so-called home, it begged the question where my wife and I are the ones that provided the information that facilitated this investigation, because we saw what was happening.
Oh, because the
investigator in that case, the chief investigator in that case, has attempted to turn it around. Newsom's decision to let me out when we get to the point, because we saw that don't make them bad people. Most of them, look at the Southern Law Center and what they're doing.
Yeah, look at the Southern Law Center.
I think one of the things that needs to happen.
Southern Poverty Law Center.
Educating.
Yeah, we need to educate people. We need to talk about how the ABs are really white supremacy group, Mike. So, real quick, he says the ABs, when he was there, were not white supremacists. But now he calls them like a neo-Nazi, blah, 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 and he hates to see what it turned into. I heard him this on an interview. And oh my God, he's been out of that since 1984. How the fuck would he know if they're, how would he know? Because of like the groups like the Southern Poverty Law Center, who, by the way, calls the AB a white supremacist group over here, and then will come over here and say that their white ideology doesn't matter to them, and then they'll call them white supremacists. Dude, it's nuts. It's nuts. And this whole thing, even in prison with white guys, black guys, a lot of the black guys knew everybody was an AB. Are you an AB if you got your head shaved? I'm sure that's changed a lot now. But anyway, I'm way off topic. But Michael Thompson now says like they calls the ABs like a neo-Nazi gang, and does not articulate
the propaganda associated with it. And what's their motive? What are they after?
Okay, he does not articulate the fact that there's a zillion AB different splinter groups, if you want to call them that.
So-called whites now being disenfranchised. That's ridiculous.
Last year, you ended up showing up in the news all over the place.
Yes.
Where you were actually charged with fraud.
I was.
You were charged with frauding $400,000 in
by the time Thompson.
What's going on with that case?
Well, the case is still pending, but nothing is really going on with it other than the fact that they've charged me with it. They have no evidence. They have an individual that says that as a former leader of the Aryan Brotherhood, that he just did what I told him to do. But, and they've now given him a deal to testify against him.
Oh, imagine that. A former leader of the Aryan Brotherhood turned on him. Now he's calling him a liar.
Me to say that I'm not concerned about it, I am. So it's really a matter of
Karma.
dealing with the evidence that they think they have, which I believe I will be able to do. I have an amazing defense team. Curtis Briggs, the outfit out of the city here, over on Gary Street, Pier 5 law offices. And, they took my case pro bono because they see the politics associated with that.
Politics.
Begged the question.
Politics.
Where, my wife and I are the ones that provided the information that facilitated this investigation because we saw what was happening.
No, they came to him and asked him because they found criminal.
The chief investigator in that case has attempted to turn it around because I'm involved, and he sees the politics associated with that. How that works at this point, we're unsure. But by way of example, they accused me of laundering money through Live, Learn, and Prosper, its bank account and its website. Well, all this investigator had to do
Holy
was
fuck.
ask for the bank statements. And he would have seen...
Can you guys hear me? Hello? Can you guys hear
He
me?
went to the Sacramento Bee and he released this article about...
Did I fucking do a whole show?
Laundering money from these so-called homeless people. These weren't homeless people. This was a crew that was working out of Ukiah.
Have you always been able to hear me?
Who's now testifying against me.
Okay. Oh my.
You see? Most of them dope fiends. That don't
What?
make them bad people, but most
Okay.
of them dope fiends. This crew's been together for years. This fella and his
Thank you.
sister
Thank you, Vegas
were
person.
operating it. You see? But the investigator isn't even looking at that. And the irony is that when he was the head of the task force over in Ukiah, he knows all these people, but now he calls them homeless people. They're not homeless people. They knew exactly what they were doing and how they were doing it. And there's not one shred of evidence that ties me to this, not even circumstantial. The only thing he's got going for him right now is this witness. And like I said, that we'll contend with that in court.
Okay.
It's that simple. Meanwhile, I have to live my life. So I have to rehabilitate the LLP because they've
Thanks,
made
Scott.
allegations in the press. They're absolutely untrue. Now he comes at me and he says, "Can I get your bank statements?" I said, "No, I'm sorry.
Oh.
You can't."
So, good guy Mike.
Time that you're-
Good guy Mike, who's always doing the right thing, now will not give him. Now he's being uncooperative. I thought if you turned your life around and you were doing the right thing, and you were doing everything for altruistic reasons or whatever, just because a Native American ancestor came down, told you to, whatever. I thought that you were supposed to be forthcoming. I thought you were supposed to be just, pure as a driven snow, So, a lot of Jimmy Calandra characteristics. True shit. If you really go look at him. And again, I came on today at 12 o'clock because I was doing this freaking video. I couldn't, and I kept screwing up on one part. And like 11 minutes into the video, and I'm like, oh my God. I did this last night too, by the way. So I'm like, okay. And then I'm looking at, I've got one computer over here going, got my cell phone going. And I'm like, Michael Thompson. I'm like, this dude is such a Jimmy. And I'm like, okay, live, 12 o'clock. Here's what I'm going to do before I go to rehab. Before I'm off to group. No, today is not group. Yeah. So that's why I wanted to do Thompson. Also, so here's what I'm doing. If any of you guys saw the live on Monday night with Stevie the Greek, everybody called him the Greek, and Chucky, they're coming back on Monday. Stevie has a whole show he can do alone about Johnny G. Chucky has the whole thing with the moose when he was going to pick him up and he died. So we might do more Carmine. So I talked to Stevie yesterday, the day before, after we did the show, and Tuesday. Yeah, today's Wednesday. So I talked to him Tuesday, and he's like, we started talking, and then he mentioned something. He's like, remember when Carmine, da, da, da. So then he starts saying, he's talking about stories that Carmine told him. And I'm like, Stevie, that's the kind of stuff people want to hear. That right there, what you're saying, like you think that's irrelevant. Those are the stories. Then he reminded me of a whole bunch of stuff that Carmine was saying. And this is Carmine's life on the street, you know? This isn't like mob or he killed that or who would have thought, did he kill Anastasia and and Colombo. By the way, on the Colombo thing, I want to say this because I do know about this. And Carmine fully believed the government was involved in that. I don't know if he thought it was a CIA, FBI, and Hoover, but 100% thought that the black dude who killed, he even told me one time like how that black guy was associated with this person who was associated with the CIA or FBI. I don't remember that. Maybe I'll ask Stevie if he does now that but he 100% thought that the government killed Colombo. And Martin Luther, I was going to say Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr. and Bobby Kennedy and all of them, John, all of them. He thought that was 100% the government. He said that. So that's true. Okay, Rob, we are friends on Facebook, brother. If you want to learn how I edit my videos, oh, you know what, Vegas, I do need to get a hold of you, bro. About your show too, which is awesome. Hey, babe, I'm doing a live right now. Yeah, I'm gonna leave at 1 o'clock. Yeah, I couldn't get the video out. I did it like 10 times and I screwed up. So I just did a live about something else. Okay, I'll call you back. Bye. Love you. All right. I missed the Carmine. So what I was gonna say about Monday night, this is what I'm gonna do Monday night. It's gonna be, I know I'll get a lot of shit about this right now. I missed the Carmine stream. Didn't he do time and make friends with Bernie Madoff? Yeah, we talked about that, Billy the Kid. Are you doing that to be mean to me by asking that? Because of what happened with the Bernie situation to myself, which I'll talk about if you don't know. Anyway, what was I saying? What was I saying? I just screwed it up. Scott Bell. What did I just say? Carmine did say that, Rob. Oh, there's Chuck. I didn't see you. There he is. What's up, Charlie? Hit the back button. Rob, we are friends on Facebook. Damn, I totally just screwed up. I lost my train of thought. Oh, what was I talking about for my wife called? Help. I'm having an adult moment. Help. Yankees V1, Scott Bell. Oh, okay. I'm going to do on Monday night. That's what it is. I'm going to do members only on Monday night for sure. Why? I'll tell you guys why. I'm getting so many people writing me private messages and saying like, I said this in the chat room, you didn't respond. You know, the chat room's a mess. Everybody's just, it's this, you can go back 4 months and it's the same people saying the same thing about each other. He's not necessarily wrong. I kind of don't care. At the same time, there's other people pointing out like it screws up like business wise, people that want to donate. I'm just being honest. I'm not, you know, I'm not on here begging like Piggy. I never knew why Emory called that dude Piggy, by the way, until 2 days ago, because he wants donations. I never knew that. So anyway, that was pretty funny. So I mean, I don't care about everybody just smacking around. I don't. But if it's a business choice, on the other hand, if I'm saying subs only, I'm members only, then other people that would just come along and donate, that I'll lose out of that. But I don't care. At this point, I'm going to do a members only chat for that because there's people that had serious questions that I got them on my messenger and emails that couldn't, or that did even ask, I think, that I missed because there's so many people talking stuff that had nothing to do with the show and about other people. So that's what I'm going to do on Monday for sure. We were going to do that permanently. I don't know. We're doing that Monday for sure. By the way, members, I'm going to put out like 3 different announcements today in like 2-minute videos. I'm going to talk about memberships. People have been complaining that they cannot find the membership thing. I guess you can't do it on a cell phone. You need a laptop or a computer because I can see it. Well, I can see it from mine actually, but I don't know why some people can't. I just got 5 new subscribers in the last hour. I think, was it? Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I don't know why. It says it at the top. Oh, and the Jimmy t-shirts. Yeah, they're ready. And I'm gonna give I'll do the link. I'll do an announcement about the t-shirts again, because people have been asking that don't know. And it's, where are we at? Comic Inc., your channel. Oh, memberships. It's at the top. So it's at the top of the thing, right? I don't know. It comes up on my phone. People say it doesn't come up on theirs. So I don't know why. Maybe somebody can tell them in stream. Excuse me. I will never forget. Scariest thing. All right. So let me see what people are saying real quick. Oh, wow. These are all fucked up. All right. Man, my eyes are getting so bad. Hey, Rob. Okay, let me go down. All you do is click join. No, but Jason, people are saying it's not coming up. You can post the link to your membership page in your description. Okay. You can post the link. Okay, to the membership. I got you. Carmine never trusted anything the doctors prescribed him either. Every month I used to flush most of his medication. You did. There's another Carmine Persico story right there. Carmine would not take all the pills. So he ended up in Butner, if you guys don't know. Real quick. I should say this for Mob Monday, but whatever. He ended up in Butner because he had a big tumor, like a lump on his balls. They thought it was cancer. His balls blew up like big, and they cut it out. No medication. He was totally hated meds. Oh, it's most likely on an Apple device. Genghis, it's I don't know. I've got an Apple device. I love Marta's all Android, and I have the work phone and I can't stand it. But I know I don't want to get into the whole beef. I guess there's a big beef about that. You can just click the join button. Base Carmine Billet Kit. Link for membership. The link for membership is in the description. Oh, it is? My wife did it. Hold on, let me see. I didn't even know. I don't know what she does. I mean, membership. Okay. In the description of the video, you're saying? I know it's in one of them. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Okay, I did it on my phone. I'm a computer literate for sure. Travis, thank you, bro. Evan, nice guy. Maybe in a month or two. I just thought a big little bit. Oh, Evan, I see you. You're saying maybe in a month or two. By the way, I saw your email just like yesterday or the day before, whatever. It's not been that long. I'll get with you. I just wanted you to know that. Wow. Can you talk about Big Adam from Lewisburg? And how do you say that name? Wajaparu? So you want to know about Adam that went and was like shot callerish at Big Sandy, right? I know Chad Marks, former Celly. What was Adam's last name? The Adam that I knew was not the Adam that he became. So in prison, you can, everybody evolves in life or should or changes. I'm not saying that he didn't have that in him. I'm saying the Big Adam that I knew, who one would argue, or Jojo Russo's bodyguards, was Adam, Nikki, Big Nick, Adam, and Red. Red ended up getting assaulted, and I got $500, maybe. What year is it? Yeah, I got $500. And the prospect who hit him got hit. Gang life's fucked up. Hey, prison, gang, I don't care. Mob, all that stuff fucked up. For real. I ain't lying. I got $500 for Adam's sidekick getting smashed. The prospect that was prospecting, may have been prospecting, then hits him. I get the money, pocket it, and then I have somebody else hit the prospect. But it wasn't because of that. Like for the 5, I had nothing to do with the 5. I'm just saying that's treacherous fucking life, man. Go to the about page. to find the membership between. Click on the link on the about page of his channel. Thanks, Vegas Prison Stories, bro. I appreciate it. Okay, so Adam was very much into Wicca. They went and had a Wicca class. Adam, JoJo, Russo, Red. There's like 6 of them. They had a Wicca class once or twice a week. They started a Wicca thing in the chapel. Became a minister through the Universal Church of Life, as did I, as did a lot of people who got that. I can marry people, by the way. Yeah, you want me to marry? I can be Reverend Rob too. I can be good guy Rob. I can be convict shrink or convict Reverend convict. Right? What? I can marry people. I guess I have to pay some state. I don't know what it was. I got the certificate. So I knew Adam was strong. He was lifting weights. He worked out faithfully. I'm going to be honest and say that I didn't think he had a heart like that. He does, for sure. Okay. He was sort of passive at one time, but I'm not saying that in a bad way. That dude was a really, really nice guy. I'm not saying he's not now. I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him since January the 23rd, 26th, 2007. I saw him the morning I left. He was with JoJo. I still don't know that because I didn't talk to JoJo Russo the day before, right before I left, but they were right there. I was going to say goodbye and then I didn't. I saw him on the yard the night before. So, but I didn't think Adam would do that. I didn't think he would get to a point where he became involved in prison politics like that. Even though JoJo had his bodyguards, they were from New York. They were big kids, big guys, all 3 of them, and everybody knew basically that was JoJo's henchman. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm really not. But so even Big Nicky, who was big, like there was a general consensus, I can say amongst for sure the Dirty White Boys, some Italian guys and some Boston guys that said he would never bust a grape. None of those guys would bust a grape. Okay. Vegas Prison Stories. Welcome to him. All right. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Okay. Remember. Okay. So yeah, Red wouldn't bust a grape for sure. That was true. Adam apparently would bust lots of grapes. And Nicky was, you knew he did when he was older, but he was, he's been in prison a long time. He wanted to hang out in prison and not go to the hole. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I don't want this to sound like I'm in any way, shape, or form cutting up Adam or Nicky for sure. I liked them both. And Adam, especially Adam. So yeah, I mean, do we have like a personal relationship? We talked many times. I can't remember like the conversations. I can't really remember, but really, really good dude. And when I started hearing about that was the Adam that Chad Mark was talking about, I was like shocked at first, for real. So that's my thing on Adam. Super nice guy. It really was into Wicca, like hardcore, which I thought, I didn't know it at the time, okay? Because I had never been to a yard with sex offenders per se at that time. I always thought people that did the Wicca thing in prison were a little weird and strange, right? Just being honest. And then I go to Butner and I find out that majority of the sex offenders are all in the Wicca stuff. Hee around the Wicca. True stuff. So I also knew a couple guys that were really good dudes that were really off into Wicca that were not sex offenders. So I don't want to just say that, but it's true. That's what so before I even was around a weirdo yard, let's call it a weirdo yard, I thought the Wiccan thing was strange. So I didn't know what to make of Adam, at some points, because I was like, oh, wow, this is weird. I think they might have even played Dungeons and Dragons a few times. Did he? I know I had a celly one time that did. But then I went to a weirdo yard, and that's what all the sex offenders did. They sat outside and played Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. So, but yeah, I liked Adam a lot. Liked him a lot. Yeah, a lot. Really, really level-headed, real nice guy. All right. So let me go on. Every time I come to Tupac, I start in trouble. Okay, I hit the like button, the join button. Okay, Mafia. Okay, then there should be a don't be a Jimmy sign outside Jimmy's house. So somebody has, what are they called? Something heads, helmet head. I guess they're big things. So there's somebody sending me something. I guess what. Let me see. Nice video choice. Let me go back real quick. How do I get this to stop? Okay. Okay, let me go back because I saw something. Said that Silverstein taught him how to read. Scott Bell? Wait, he also dropped out because he didn't want to be locked in the hole for the rest of his life. Mafia history. Okay. Did he say that too, or are you just like stating the obvious? You know what I mean? I got 2 new members. Is that what it is right now? If that's the case, thank you. I don't know how to make sense of that. I don't know. I see it says member. I think that means new. I appreciate it, both you guys. Sam Peter's a famous AB. He has a car chase on YouTube somewhere. Okay, hold on. 1920s. He also said they were Irish immigrants who started the AB. Hold on. Okay, let me go back. As Native American as Elizabeth Warren, it helped distance himself from the brand. Calculated. Mike said he was whooping and hollering. The inexperienced NF members came out with the bone crusher, and Silverstein taught him how to read. Oh, okay, Scott Bell. I didn't. Was that on Vlad TV too? I think I missed that during Indian chant around the fire. Sundown came out and said the whole NF story he told was BS. Sundown was an NF member. Okay. I actually think you should reach out to Michael Thompson and try to get an interview with him and chop it up, give him my chance. I'm sure he was extra with his story, but that's all these guys. Javier James, good point. And you know what? I'm going to tell you the honest to God truth. After I saw that, the only I've seen like 4 different things on the internet and not a full interview. I saw the full interview on Vlad TV probably 2 weeks ago. And that was my first thought, was I was going to reach out to him. Very articulate, probably a really good, cool dude to talk to about stuff. You can see he's well read, spent a lot of time reading and educating himself. I'll give him all that. It's the bullshit that pisses me off. And it happens over and over and over again, man. It's like Franzese. And I'm not just using the name. He's a holy roller, right? How many times did he cheat? Or how many fairs did he have? I think it was Lee Cole that did a show. There was a couple of people, like I asked if that was true. I'm not saying I didn't believe Lee, but other people were like, yeah, like it's out there on the internet. Did I Google it? And then I never put nobody in prison. I'm not a rat. I'm not, but you did testify and the guy got probation, but it's just, I don't know. I don't know. I guess you need other reasons to quit, drop out, pretend you're not a scumbag, make yourself feel better. I don't know what to call it, but it's just time and time again, man. And then I saw Al Prophet, and then I saw the thing about. I was just looking at AB. I was trying to get just more information. I've got so much of it, but I'm like, okay, there was a specific episode that he had that I wanted. The one about the ABs where they are now, basically, about the trial after 2015. So if I'm doing the original brand, I'm doing the California brand. I'm just doing like giving out the facts. Boom, and like ends where they are now. Then I'm going to do like the Fed brand. Then I'm going to like do the Arizona, the state by state. That's what my intent is. That's why I've asked people to help. I've got 4 people that have reached out to me, member and former members, whatever, just to provide background information, because I want to get as accurate as possible. I'm going to be using the web and media reports to give accounts of what each state AB what is about, maybe using bylaws, try to get it back to the original I can. That's why I need help. It's not to diss gangs or hate on people. It's nothing to do about that. Although I've come up with like 3 different stories that I can put out right now that are lesser known, that but it'll just look like I'm just attacking another gang or another, AB sex offenders. I'm just saying, I was like, whoa, this another one. Whoa. And Aryan Circle, got some good friends at Aryan Circle, by the way. happen to know that there was a guy who performed fellatio on a boy this big. That was a shot caller from one of the yards. I know about that, so I'm gonna do a video about that. And then I'm like, okay, I want to get the accurate history of the AB. Nobody's doing it right. Nobody's done it right. Nobody has like the same information I'm going to say. It's out there, but to put it in the context of this is what it did. This is the first time they were labeled white supremacists. This is this boom, boom, boom. They're not connected to this one. They're not this one. This one associates with this one. There's this myth that there's 20,000 members of the Aryan Brotherhood out there. That's a Southern Poverty Law Center, I believe. And the other hate group sites. There isn't 20,000 members of the Aryan Brotherhood. There is the California ABs or the Aryan Brotherhood. There's the federal sect or the Aryan Brotherhood, the brand collective league. I guess both of those two can be called. Then you have the Arizona Aryan Brotherhood, the North Carolina Aryan Brotherhood, the Georgia Aryan Brotherhood. I'm just on and on and on, who don't have anything to do with each other, don't know each other. I think Arizona asked the AB for permission to use the name. I don't remember. I'll get that. I'll find out. Every day I find like a new Aryan Brotherhood of this state, and they have nothing to do with the rest of them. So there's not 20,000. There's 200 members of this Aryan Brotherhood, 400 here, 150 here. That's what there is. That's what there is, and it needs to be put out exactly that way. Maybe it has been, and I'm missing it. I don't know. I've probably saw like 1,000 different videos on the ABs alone, and I keep putting my fingerprints on these glasses, and they keep smudging. I have to leave in about 5 or so minutes. Let me see if I can get anything. Did intrigue this one. I've listened to a lot of, definitely intrigued by this one. What up? Okay, so that's earlier back. Michael Thompson dispatch. But I do agree that a lot of stuff Michael Thompson is true and documented. Yeah, Javier James, you're right. Matt Mary from Mulberry Street, A View from Mulberry Street. Watch that. It's good. Said it best. All the information that comes out on these channels, on History Channel and all, it's always by ex-cooperators or police. Very rarely will you have, Matt is a good example. He's an attorney from an attorney's point of view. I took life sentence. I am proud of it. I don't want to like say, oh, I took a life, got 2 years, I'm a man, blah, blah, blah. Fuck that. In a different situation, I probably could have told on the world. I don't know. I wasn't there. On my situation for myself at that time in my life, knowing that this conspiracy that I never even knew was a conspiracy that I had created involved like all these people I've known since we're babies, and they've got babies who hang out with my little kids, and we're all from San Pedro, and it's just like, oh man, I couldn't do that. I just couldn't, maybe if it was like Manuel Garcia that I've never met twice around the corner, or Jamal that I was like something, maybe, I don't know. You got to be in somebody's shoes. I do know this. I wouldn't be coming out here saying, oh, I did it because I turned my life around. No, I did it because I was facing life without parole, and I wanted to get 2 years instead of life. I mean, how hard is that? And people would understand, well, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, I get it. But no. I got away from that life. I was a victim because the bullet almost hit me when it killed her. And yeah, I never testified against anybody. I never put nobody in prison like Michael Franzese, but he got probation when I testified against him. And then you got Thompson. Yeah, I was doing all the right stuff, but even the prosecutors are saying that I'm a liar and embellished. So, and he never took responsibility for it, and he got out of prison. That's really kind of stuck on me, because I'm almost positive, and I've got to go back and read. I know one of these. What state was it Illinois? There's a state I read not long ago that if you didn't admit that you did, if you couldn't say I did it, you weren't getting parole, period. It was like so the words they use are shall or must. No, it's shall. That's the use of the language. The inmate shall accept responsibility for his crime. The inmate shall have a place to go. You know, that's the language. So that's means must. I don't know about California. I haven't looked in a long time. So that's interesting. Of course, it did all the cooperation that he did. And I don't know his current case right now. That's what I was going to look up before I came on. I don't know what it is, where it's at. I don't wish nobody to go to prison for real. Oh, damn, Rob wouldn't be in that situation to begin with. Oh, shit. What do you harvest a sword? Does that explanation satisfy her? I would give up my butt. Wait, whoa, what? See, this lures me, man. You guys are lures. Okay. Oh, my man. So Tupac will always be respectful and go, Rob, you're in prison when you're approached by another inmate who tells you to run that butt or give up that butt. What is your next step at that point? Hold on. Okay, Philip Spade, that's what you guys are talking about. He's just a goofball. Right? Okay. Rob, okay, you're giving me a scenario. You're in prison when approached by another inmate who tells you to run that butt or give up that butt. What is your next step at that point? Are you serious right now? Okay, so I'm trying to think of a situation. So Arkansas Department of Corrections back in the day, that would have been the more likely scenario. However, you see how fat I am right now, right? I'm 250. Fucking crazy. I never in my life thought I'd get, I hit 270 when I was 23. And that was because I left California, leaving, running from I got sentenced to 4 years. Into the world. Fuck, I'm stupid. And California was, it's like sweet time back then. You could have been on, I would have been on like a level 1-2 Chino, like Camp Snoopy, and got packages and could have got laid every few days. Like, you know, I mean, every month or every other month from my wife. Anyway, Arkansas would be a more likely scenario of that, the Arkansas Department of Corrections. But they would walk, but I was too fat. I was too big. I was too fat. I lost all that weight, Mark. I lost like 70 pounds in a year, by the way. And I can't believe I'm back here right now. Fucking crazy, man. Especially with my wife. I never thought I would ever, like, I would be, I remember like thinking, man, I can't go home like this. And I was like 215, you know? When I got to, it was like 220. I'm like, oh man, I'm too fat. I can't let Marta see me without a shirt. Right. I don't have clothes on most of the time. Seriously. I mean, I got some neighbors, but like the whole back is just, man, I'm like, I run around in my underwear, I'm naked half the time. She's like, I've never seen somebody naked as much as you. And I'm just fat, you know. Anyway, so let me go back to the point. Arkansas would have been the more likely scenario when they come up, but they'd say like, choose your daddy, bitch. So especially somebody young and white. That's wrong. That's not right. Anybody young, because they did it to black kids too. So it was like, you had people come up to you. It was all about real pressure punking, whatever you want to call it, was condoned back in those days. No bullshit. It's changed a lot since 1997. I heard the Arkansas Department of Corrections. So what would I do as me now? Swing like immediately, or who I became later as a kid. Swing, because that's what I was always taught. Like hit the biggest guy. By the way, LA County Jail, standing on a phone line for over an hour. Woe was me. The judge gave me a year in the county, and I ended up doing 63 days. Oh, it's into the fucking world. I'm gonna kill myself. So I was waiting for my fiance, who was pregnant with our second daughter at the time. I was like 19. I just turned 20, and a dude, big ass black dude, comes up and snatches the phone out of my hand. I was like, I just realized, is this really happening right now? But I didn't even think that. I hit him, and he fucking knocked me. He didn't knock me out. He fucked me up. Like my head didn't do nothing to him, really. It didn't. I ain't gonna lie. So yeah, I would swing because that's what I was always thought in my head. I didn't have people around me that had been to prison. Never. So I knew a couple guys that went to county jail. My one friend, Tommy Dunbar, got busted when we were like 20. He did he got a 16-month or 3-year sentence. 16 months, I think. That was the first. No, we got 3 years and had to do almost whatever, 18 months, I think. That was the first dude that I knew that went to prison. I mean, one of my friend's brothers and stuff got life for murder, killing his girlfriend's husband, whatever, George Luchev out of San Pedro. But I never went and visited him. So I didn't have people like schooling me on, this is what you do if you go to the joint. This is what, no, I didn't. But I knew probably from watching TV or movies or something, you like, you know, if you're scared, try not to act scared, try to keep it up, keep it a stiff upper lip, and just try to do like all, that's what I knew. So yeah, but I've had somebody called Lexus, who's Mark Pierce. If you guys have been in the Arkansas Department of Correction, you know who Lexus is for sure. Looks just like a girl, just like a girl. Okay, I'm gonna say it further. Look like a pretty girl. Okay, no bullshit. Mark Pierce, like hit on me openly and fucked me up. You know, I mean, you know, I've been in prison and had like, you know, some of the so-called punks never want to fight a homosexual in prison. Never, ever, never. Because they could, I mean, they're still men. They, you know, still have testosterone, whatever. Dude, that'd be terrible getting beat up by. Man, it'd be horrible. But I've had, you know, like one say stuff, but Mark was fucked me up. You know, I was like upset about it for real. But anyway, all right. Listen, I do have to go. I've got to go to. They're trying to make me go to rehab. No, they're not trying to make me. It was actually something I've been doing for a while. I just got to work the program. This is soda, by the way. What is day? First, second, third, fourth, the fifth. Oh, have I not had alcohol in 5 days? For real? Have I not? Has it been 5 days clean? Maybe, I don't know. Bye, guys. I'll see you later. Yeah, the AB thing, if you guys are the AB enthusiasts out there, is coming, and I do have Jimmy. Not Jimmy. Fuck. I'm gonna have an announcement about Jimmy Selflow and some of the other ones. I'm just gonna do a little couple-minute video, probably today. I'm gonna do 3 videos on different announcements. Benny Giratano, I have boring tapes of Benny. I haven't talking about legal stuff, but there's people that keep asking me, just put it out there anyway. We'll see. But this AB video, like I said, it's all out there. I just want to put it in a different context, something to lead into the other stories. Anyway, thanks for showing up, you guys. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Have a good one. I got to roll. Thanks, Chuck. I'll talk to you soon and see you Monday night. Oh, in the stream. What am I doing? Oh, fuck. Am I still on? Probably. How do I do this? Let's see. End stream. End stream. Change your cancel. End stream. End.